Hello there, Zainey friends. It's me, Marshall, and I'm completely unsupervised for this special Halloween edition that we're doing as a collaboration with the Geeks and Beauties group. You'll be able to find information about them down below. You'll also be able to find our social media information down below, different ways that you can see our stuff, like, Instagram with a whole bunch of pictures and stuff like that. Or also, maybe take a look at our Facebook and talk to us. We like talking. I'm talking right now. I'm also going to be showing you some planner stuff. Today, some trackers. Trackers more for fun than for function. We are going to be doing stuff for trick-or-treating. I'm going to keep track of just how many different kinds of candies you might have picked up, or how many different kinds of costumes you saw, just as something to keep you entertained while your kids are running around the neighborhood and trying to, give themselves cavities. We're going to turn the camera down, so stay tuned. Welcome to my planner setup. We've got the Uberworks Technic, which is my usual journal. We've got the Staedtler Tri-Pass Fineliners, which is my favorite kind of pen for doing planning with me. I don't use this for my art typically. I really just use these for my planning. Most of my coloration ends up actually being digital for when I'm doing artwork. But today, this is for me. So right now we're at the blank page, and we are going to kind of block this off into two different areas. One area is going to be for keeping track of candy, and the other area is going to be for keeping track of our costumes that we do see. We now have more of a grid outline. What we're going to be doing is drawing various little candies in on this side. That'll be representative of different kinds of candies that we've got. And so we've also got the number of them. And if we get past 15, we know we're in the sweet spot for that particular kind of candy. Now, you might ask, why are we doing a tracker for the different kinds of candies? Apparently, there have been a whole lot of apps and candy buckets and things like that that will keep track of GPS locations that you will be getting candy at. So when one year you'll go around and you'll take this bucket up to somebody's house, trick or treat, and then if they gave you candy, you hit the button, and that then tells you next year you want to go to them. This is going to be a little bit easier because what you can do is actually build it from neighborhood to neighborhood and actually do like multiple pages for multiple neighborhoods. And you can keep track of what kinds of candy you'll get from each neighborhood. If you want to do this even easier, a little bit more one page, you could actually turn these into different neighborhood names right here and just keep track of how much candy that you got in that particular neighborhood. And that way you can know which one to come back to later on. If you are only going to one neighborhood though and you just want to keep track of your candy intake, there you go. We're gonna speed things up again. We have your candy. We've got a bunch of different icons here. We've got a happy face that's got a little bit of a heart going on next to him, and he's all about the specialty candies that you're not going to see too much of. And let's go ahead and get you a little closer there just so you can see it all. There you go. You got our candy guy, and he's just happy to have something he's never seen before. We've got a standard chocolate bar and a chocolate bar with nuts, because sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes I think that's copyrighted. And we also have pixie sticks or other little sugary sticks because, those are just fun. Skittles. Then you have M&M's, Tootsie Rolls, and this chalky candy things. I can never remember what they're called, but they're just like, they're there, but they're not the most awesome. And then you've got some of the other stuff that you might not necessarily want, like a toothbrush and toothpaste. You've got the floss, because, you've always got some dentist hiding around in the neighborhood just being like, I'm gonna trick you. And then you've got the jerks that leave you rocks and razor blades. This, the more of this that you have than this, then you know you don't want to go back to that neighborhood next year. because they're mean. They're just not good people. I just added a little bit of extra color to those. So we're going to zoom back out a little bit, and the next section that we are going to work on down here is going to be your costume tracker. See how many different kinds of costumes there are. I went ahead and marked out a few dots here just so that I have an idea of the space that I have to work with. Each of these little boxes that I've built are going to then be used to track the numbers, and we're going to go ahead and build those boxes completely. We're going to get started with these by kind of going through a few of the more common costumes that are going to be showing up this year. I did a quick web search to see the most popular 2017 Halloween outfits, and we're going to start with those up in here, followed by the ones that you're going to see just about every year. They're always going to be there. To begin with, we have a clown, because it just came out not too long ago. I'm talking about the movie It, which is the Stephen King movie about an evil clown that is really something far, far, far worse. And so because that movie has come out, the idea of doing clown makeup as horror is on the rise. Not that it needed that much help, because clowns are terrifying anyway. We have here a waffle, and this is to represent Stranger Things, because with the new season of Stranger Things coming out and going to rock our world, of course people are going to be going around dressed up as the kids from Stranger Things, not just the boys and 11, but I would actually really love to see a Demogorgon come to my house. Not a real one, that would be terrifying. But you know, somebody dressed up as you get it. The live-action Beauty and the Beast has inspired a lot of people to start searching for ways to do Belle's costume. So we have a golden gown along with the rose, but you could just as easily use this to represent any kind of fairy tale princess. In fact, I'm probably going to go ahead and use another space later on to do a fairy tale princess, because you see a lot of those too. So this is specifically for Belle, although you could also use it for Gaston or some of the other characters from that movie, because who doesn't want to see a Lumiere? Do it. Dress up as Lumiere. I do not know why, but very recently there's been a lot of searches going on as far as how to get a Halloween costume for a giraffe print. Apparently it's been up 27% on List, and it's up times 12 on Pinterest. I don't get it, and neither does this giraffe. He does not understand this either. No. Wonder Woman. You know, because big movie, awesome superheroine. I know it might not necessarily be exactly clear, but these are the three-headed Targaryen dragons from Game of Thrones, and they're all laughing at some of these really poorly made costumes that people are probably going to be wearing from Game of Thrones, such as, of course, Daenerys Targaryen. But apparently, if you go to look at those Night Watch cloaks really close, you can get those at IKEA. They're apparently made out of IKEA rugs. Yeah, if I was a dragon, I'd be laughing at that too. Even though critics really hated it, apparently the new Baywatch brought the lifeguard costume back into prevalence. So for all you know, you might be walking around with your kid and see somebody dressed up in nothing more than a red one-piece. No shoes, though. Of course, with the upcoming My Little Pony movie, unicorns are totally in, so let's get a unicorn up in here. Mermaid. Apparently, they're not just doing Mermaid as a gown, but many list users have actually been doing like mermaid leggings. They've also been using scales, like mermaid scales, as part of their top, so that it just kind of gives you that feel. It also kind of has that look from like Elsa's dress, where it's a whole bunch of overlapped scales. It looks kind of nifty from the image that I see, and it's useful outside of Halloween. We'll just throw Mermaid on there, and now we're going to go for some of the ones that you're going to see just about any year. This is a pirate's hook, along with an eye patch. So guess what? This is for pirates. Because you're always going to see some little boy walking around dressed up as a pirate. Especially now that we've got the Pirates movies out. How many are those now? 5? We really liked the new one. Almost as good, if not as good, as the original. Of course, you're going to be saying Fairytale Princesses, and I told you I was going to be doing that, so enjoy. The Zombie. Walking Dead. Do I really need to talk about zombies that much? I think we've kind of covered that topic on just about every video we've done. Fairies, hey listen, the Navi kind, or fairy godmothers. You can see a lot of those running around. For our last one, we have the naughty versions of the various emergency response systems. So you have the dirty cop, the naughty fireman, and the nurse that way too attentive. While we'd had that time with the battery dying, I decided I was just going to do a little bit of a doodle, as we have Zeno, and he's grumbling about the fact that I didn't put any cats in there. Because, cats, you're always going to see them, but I just didn't have enough room. So he's getting mad that I didn't put any cats in, and he's like, you even have the stupid giraffe. And, there's Waldo. Waldo the rabbit. I'm just going to go ahead and take this remaining space right up in here to do a little bit of title. And then I think this layout is ready to go for trick-or-treating. There you generally will have it with our Halloween trick-or-treat tracker. You have your entire area for the candy tracking, how many you got of which kind, and then you have the different costumes, along with a little bit of note side. I hope you really enjoyed what I put together for you today, and until next time, stay zany.